Hey guys, how's it going? It's Tang here. So today in this video we're going to be looking at a super fast material farming monk build. So this build is pretty much a modified version of the Fire Spirit Generator build. So what that means, if you're already using it, great, you already have pretty much all the gears that you need. Well, most of the gears. We're just going to modify just a little bit. So with this build, it's all based on, speed, because we want to run through everything super fast and super quick, bypassing all the non-objective stuff that we don't need to worry about at all. So we want to be at the end bounty stuff, so we're going to finish it fast and we get our material as fast as we can. So we're going to be doing this on T4. Now the reasons that we're going to be doing it on T4 is because it's actually much faster, and your friends that aren't geared can actually play with you as well and not going to slow you down. You want to do this as fast as possible, okay? So the difference between T4 and T10 is, well, the monsters hit harder and they die slower, and also you get 3 materials per cache in T4 and you get 4 materials per cache in T10. So that's, not as great in T10 if you want to farm a lot of materials, right? And especially if you're playing with a friend who isn't geared, they're gonna slow you down in T10. So that's why you want to do it at a lower tier, torment rate, so they can join you and everything goes faster. So have a look at the little clip, and then we're gonna get into the gears we need, the legendary gems, the skills, the Kanai cube, and paragon levels. Okay. Welcome back. The first thing we're going to do is look into the gears we need. Like I mentioned, this is a modified version of the Fire Spirit Generator. There are some options, alternative, that I've placed into the inventory, and we're going to get into that, okay? So the first items we need is the Remnant of 1,000 Storms set. We want the 4-piece bonus, because then Dashing Strike will spend 75 spirit instead of a charge until it's out of spirit. Then it'll use the charges instead. So that's what we want, because we're going to be using that to move through things, and we're going to have a lot of spirit regeneration so that we don't run out of spirit when we're using Dashing Strike. So we're always going to be able to constantly spam it all the time. So we're going to put this on right now, and then I'm using 3 pieces because I'm using the Ring of Royal Grandeur in my Kanai cube. Like I said, this is T4. I don't really care about damage. I care more about the speed of the farming, okay? So that's why I have it there, and I have the 4-piece set. So it's activated, so we have that. Now if you don't want to use the Ring of Royal Grandeur, of course you can supplement in the chest piece with a remnant part if you want to. That's up to you, but I would just suggest using the Ring of Royal Grandeur. Now also you can actually use the the Inner Mantra stuff to double the spirit regeneration of your mantra and your Mystic Ally if you want to, but that's a little bit overkill. In my experience, you don't really need it. A little damage is good too, so that's the option that's there for you. But like I said, it's not really needed. It's a little bit overkill. It's really up to you. Alright, so we're going to be using Leoric's Crown to help us reduce our cooldown reduction. This is very important because we want cooldown reduction as much as possible to, have Epiphany up at all the time, because that will help us teleport, like really amazingly teleport with the Dashing Strike. It's just mind-blowing. And also, when we run out of spirit, it's going to use a charge on our Dashing Strike, so we want it to be recharged as fast as possible. So that's why we're using Leoric's Crown. Okay, so the next one is optional. It's not required for this build. It's the Warzy. I can't pronounce the name. Sorry. I'm just gonna call it War Chain Arm Guards. It helps to move, make you move faster by breaking objects. So that's up to you if you want to use that. The belt is also up to you. I don't know if it really stacks. Sometimes it says 60% when I finish, using Dashing Strike, but sometimes it's weird. So this one will increase the movement speed when you don't take damage. It's actually nice. Because you're always constantly dashing through things, so that's up to you. If you don't want to use the belt, you can use the Vigilante belt to help your cooldown reduction, or the Witching Hour to increase the damage. That's up to you. Now for our weapon, because this is a modified version of the Fire Spirit Generator, we actually don't want to use Shenlong's Fist because, as you can see, it's, well, we're passively gaining Spirit, but we're losing Spirit when we reach top, so we don't want to lose Spirit. So the best in slot 1 is going to be the Ingeum right here. The reason is because when you kill an elite pack, all your cooldowns are reduced by 10 seconds. So that means that your Epiphany is always going to be up. If you have about 60% or 65% cooldown reduction, that means you can teleport constantly, and also your dashing strike will always be up, period. So that's really good. Even if you run out of Spirit, it's always going to be up. So that's why we want the Ingeum. It's really good. For the offhand, you can use anything you want to. Invisia's Blade is actually nice, but like I said, this isn't really about damage because it's all about speed, right? Speed, passing through every single mob you can, so you don't have to bother with them at all. You want the end bounty stuff. So the offhand, you can use anything you want to. Yeah, I'm just using Invisible Blade because it just does 100% critical hit chance on an enemy. Now if you're thinking about the Jawbreaker, it doesn't really work with the remnants of the 10 storm sets because they're using Spirit instead of the charges. So I mean, I guess it does. Once you run out of the Spirit, then it'll work, but it's not that great. So that's up to you if you want to use that or not. Alright, so this is for those of you who are thinking, hey, why don't you use Tempest Rush with the War Staff of General Kwang, staff, or the passive, whatever. The thing is, it's not as fast as Dashing Strike is. I mean, it is fast, but it's not as fast. Not only is it not as fast, but you can't actually dash through walls, or you can't run through walls, and you can't dash through like stairwells and all that stuff. So that's why Dashing Strike is so much better for this type of situation versus like Tempest Rush. Okay, for the legendary gems, we're going to be using Wreath of Lightning right here. So we actually want it for the second passive. The first one helps us to, AoE damage everything. The second one, while we're doing that, gives us a movement speed increase. So that's why we want it. Plus also, I actually don't want to like hit anything. I just want everything to automatically die around me from procking Wreath of Lightning or something else. So that's why I have it. The next one is Bane of the Trap. My cat is talking to me, sorry. So it just helps you to increase in damage right there, so that's really great. And the last two is really up to you, because we're using Dashing Strike constantly. We're not really gonna run unless you have that weird odd situation when you run out of charges, then you run. But Boon of the Hoarder is great because you get gold, and also you get movement speed when you pick up the gold. So that's up to you, but I like to use the Myriad Teardrop of the Star Weaver because it just smites everything around me, so I don't really have to hit things. So that's why I use it instead. So yeah, that's up to you. So that's the legendary gems. Alright, so for the Kanai Cube, I have the Ring of Gargantua I've mentioned before, just for the 4-piece set. If you don't want it, I don't know any other rings that you can use for this, so it's up to you, whichever. But for the armor set, we're going to use the Credus Boot, so we have 2 Mystic Air Ally instead of 1, so that's like double the Spirit Regeneration. And then for the weapon slot, I use the Flying Dragon just because. You can use anything you want, I don't care. Because it's T4, it's not going to, take that long for you to kill things anyway, so it's up to you whichever one you use, it doesn't matter. Alright, so let's go into the Paragon levels. So we want movement speed to match our boots so that we have 25%. So I have 14% here, it has 11%, so it's 25% total, and everything else will go into dexterity. For offensiveness, we want cooldown reduction, then critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and then attack speed. Defense, resist all, armor, life regen, life. And then lastly is utility, resource cost reduction, and then area damage or life on hit if you want to, and then gold fine is last. So for the skills, we're going to be using our Crippling Wave Mango because we don't want to spend Spirit, we just want to gain Spirit, because so that we can use Dashing Strike to spend that Spirit so we can move things really fast. So we're using Crippling Wave with Mango. Like I said, modified version of the Fire Spirit Generator, it's up to you. Then we're going to be using the Cyclone Strike Implosion to pull all the mobs around us when we're at that end point of the bounty. Well, we need to kill mobs, so that's really great right there. We're going to be using Epiphany Insight. Now you can use Epiphany Insight if you want to. I like it so that I will always constantly have Spirit. And you can use Desert Shroud if you're having trouble with like staying alive, but you shouldn't be if you're on T4 anyway, so that's your choice. Next is the Mystic Ally with the Air Ally for spirit regeneration, constant spirit regeneration, and also when we're low, we can pop it so that we go back to 300 spirit. So that's really cool right there. The last one is, this is a choice, okay? You can use the mantra of healing right here with circular breathing so that you gain spirit. Or you can use the sweeping wind with Inner Storm. I don't like using Inner Storm because I just don't like pressing buttons. That's my problem. I like everything to just passively be gaining. So it's up to you if you want to use that or not. But I like mantra of healing, circular breathing. And also if you use the Inner stuff, you know, the Inner mantra set, you have the double. You have 6 instead of 3. Spirit regeneration. So your choice. And lastly is going to be the dashing strike we want with the wave of the falling star, because it will help us increase our movement speed when we are not, you know, spamming dashing strike. So we're moving really fast, you know. So that's why we want that there. But I mean, if you want damage, then go with radiance. If you want, you know, increase in toughness, then go with blinding speed. It's your choice. So lastly is our passive skills. We're going to be using the Beacon of Etar to help us with cooldown reduction. Then we're going to use Fleeted Foot to increase in speed. And the last two, you might argue with me, but that's okay. You can change it if you want to. But I use the Chance of Resonance and the Exalted Soul so that my spirit regen is super fast, so that I'm not low on spirits. So you've already seen the pretty much the video, but I'm going to show you. Look, so I have everything equipped on, right? Yes. Oh, sorry, the legendary gems won't work because we have no mobs, but everything's equipped with the Inner mantra piece set right here. So I'm going to show you. Look, watch, see, we are hardly even, you know, wasting much of the spirit because we're just dashing so much. And that's crazy because you can pretty much finish the whole entire map with without even spending the charges. See, you dash and then you run a little, you dash, you run a little, and that's pretty much. And even if you use like one single charge, your Epiphany is up, or your Mystic Air Ally is up again. So you're not losing spirit at all, pretty much. I mean, you are, but you're not. You're just dashing super fast, and Tempest Rush can't keep up like this. See, I lost one charge, but that's okay. Just like count 1, 2, dash, 1, 2, dash, 1, 2, dash. And that's pretty much it for the guide. Now the little tip I want to give you, I've already made a video about this, but a little tip I want to give you is that when you're doing bounties, when you're doing farming materials, you know, you want to do the one with the bonus first, because then once you finish that, it'll move on to the next act and it'll give that act a bonus. So you'll have like double the material rather than you know, a set amount with an extra bonus material, right? You want 5 heroic caches, and then you want 5 bonus caches from all 5 acts. So you get 10 total. That means doubling your materials rather than you know, having to do more. So that's my little tip there for you. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below. And of course, you know, a thumbs up would definitely be appreciated, and share this video for those of you who want to will help other people farm really quick. Anyways, thank you so much again, and don't forget to press subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.